Hello, I'm Rod Scheida with Lincoln Traps. Today we'd like to give you some information on the Lincoln SC-90 machine, some of its features. You can currently see it's mounted with a rabbit arm. It also is mounted, the machine is mounted onto what we call the Wobble base kit. We'll go into that a little bit deeper, but you'll see all the adjustments that this attachment allows you to do. But it also is bolted onto our regular seated stand. We'll go ahead and throw some rabbit targets, and then we'll switch over with the standard arm and show you some targets from the standard presentation as well. This machine here was sold as a combo, so it would come with a standard arm and a rabbit arm. Like I said, currently the rabbit arm is on the machine. This is a dual channel rabbit arm, and it also allows you to load color side to the shooter or black side to the shooter, or you can do a combination of the two. You can load singles and you can load doubles. You will notice on the launch arm there are some thumb screws here which actually will adjust a rubber stop inside the arm, inside the channel. The farther down, the deeper the target goes, the longer it stays in the arm and the more higher bounce you'll get when it comes out. If you move it to the higher point, that's the shorter travel, it's going to come out faster and it'll hit the ground earlier. We'll cock the machine and throw some examples. At this point, we'll leave them set where they're at. We'll load a couple targets, cock the machine, and you simply pull the firing rod to release the machine. So this is going to be a pair of rabbits. You can also throw singles if you just want to throw one target. Same procedure, but they're a little bit higher presentation. So we're going to adjust these just to give you a quick presentation. We'll stagger them slightly so you get two different presentations. And you can see the one bounced much higher than the other because it made contact to the ground earlier. If you wanted to change speed on these, that's simply adjusting the mainspring. At this point, you can see we don't have a lot of tension on this spring, but you have plenty of room to tighten or loosen a little bit, but that will control the speed of the target. Naturally, when you throw one target, it definitely goes faster than when you throw a pair due to the added weight. We launched some rabbit targets. We are now going to go ahead and switch over and install our standard arm. Just for the speed of the video here, we are going to use an impact just to speed up this process. So if you had a wrench, you would simply loosen these bolts, remove the rabbit arm. You can set that aside for right now. We'll go ahead and install the standard arm. Now, as you can see, we have this arm equipped with some teal clips. So staying in the same position that we had it mounted for rabbit targets, we can go ahead and throw some teal presentations or chandelle presentations at this point using standard targets. So let me grab some standard targets and we'll start here. Okay, we now have installed a standard dual launch arm equipped with what we call teal clips. So we are going to go ahead and load some standard targets into the teal clips, and these are adjustable. You may have to tighten the hardware so there's enough tension, sufficient tension to hold the bird in place. And you can load singles or doubles. I prefer loading at this point, loading the targets before you cock the arm, just a little bit safer. And then when you push the arm down into the cock position, Gently push into that position, make sure they're still in place. So this is a dual chandelle off of our Wobble base on the SC-90 machine, equipped with a standard arm. I'm simply going to fire this and you get a pair of chandelles. Not sure how well you can see that, but it was a nice pair of chandelle targets. Okay, now we're going to show you some of the features of utilizing the Wobble base kit. You saw the chandelle targets that we just threw with it in the all the way down position, which is also the same position where you would have it if you had the rabbit arm on. But at this point, we have the standard arm on. We're going to simply loosen this hardware, and it'll allow you to tip or tilt this machine however you want. Just re-secure. And again, I'm just using the impact to speed things up. We're going to elevate the machine just slightly. So now we can throw some going away teal targets or some loopers, whatever you want to try to imagine here. So again, I'm going to load 2 targets, utilizing the teal clips, cock the arm, stay safe, and those are 2 beautiful targets. Okay, we now just raised the machine more a little bit upright position just so you can see a little more visual of the target from this position. I just want to show you that you can launch multiple types of targets from a Bat 2. Some of you may not always see these. It is a flat disc target. This is a 90 millimeter, and this is a standard 108 millimeter. So we can throw a combination of these 2 targets as well. So, and I didn't adjust my clip, so this is a good example to show you real quickly. The machine is not cocked. I'm actually just going to simply adjust this clip. Got a little grass in there. I'm going to adjust this clip. So you want just enough tension to hold the target in place. So let me go ahead and secure that. And that's simply with a screwdriver and a 7/16 wrench. So there's not a lot of tension there. You just want enough tension to hold that target in place. So I'm going to set the tools aside. We, on the bottom tray, we have the standard target, and on the top we have a 90. Being that they're different diameters, you're going to see that they are not actually going to fly in the same path. The 90 will actually go more to the left because it's a smaller diameter target. And there is proof of that. So you may have noticed there that the 90 millimeter, because it's a smaller diameter target, went much farther to the left. So if you look in the standard arm, it actually is slotted. So if you simply move the rubber stop down the arm a little bit farther, which we'll go ahead and do that, if you wanted to keep the pairs closer together, you simply adjust this. We're going to go down the arm just a hair and re-secure. Make sure that fits. We're going to put a little more tension on there. There we go. Let's secure that. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and launch another pair. So I'm going to cock it. Again, stay safe. I'm going to roll the standard target in the bottom and a 90 on top. Make sure there's no one in the vicinity of the machine. But now they should probably stay a little bit closer together than they did previously. As you can see, they actually touched. So that was a unique pair of standard and a combination with a MIDI target, which you just saw. So we discussed briefly the Bat 2 target. We're going to launch a couple of those. You can throw either singles or doubles, preference is yours. Being that this is a black target, you may not see this really in the air once it leaves on this video, but I just want to show you can load singles or doubles. You don't always have to use the clips. You will need a clip though when the machine is elevated to a point where the targets want to slide off. Otherwise you would simply use just a rubber stop. So I've loaded 2 Bat 2s. And again, stay clear, stay safe, and we'll launch those two. And that's a beautiful pair of Bet2s right there when they turn. And again, I don't know how well you're going to see those, but I just wanted to show you that you can launch multiple specialty targets, a combination of the two, standard targets, Bet2, 90 millimeters, 70 millimeters, 60 millimeters. They are all capable of being launched off of the Lincoln SC-90 machine. Before we conclude here, I just wanted to go over a couple safety issues. You always want to be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to have any young children or anybody running up behind you at the same time when you're going to fire the machine. So just be aware of that. We do offer a safety ring. And it basically is, you may see that in our literature or online. It's a yellow ring that mounts to this machine, and it basically gives you a perimeter of where this arm is going to travel when it fires. So it's a good idea. It's an option, but it's a good idea to install one if you have some youngsters around. The firing rod on this machine is equipped with some return springs that are on this rod. Always make sure those are in good working order, and then when you pull this, the mechanism returns briskly, no binding or anything, because this roller is actually what catches the arm when it comes into the cock position. So you want to make sure all of that is free. You don't need heavy lubrication. You do want to keep it somewhat lubricated, but the more lubrication, just the more dirt and things that it'll attract. So I'm just simply going to cock this machine so you can see the mechanism, how this comes into this roller, and that's actually what holds the arm in the cock position. When I fire it, you're going to see that roller move out of the way. I'll do this a few times so you can see the function. So you always want to make sure that that firing rod is functioning and moving freely. Periodically, look at your hardware on this machine. Just look and make sure everything is tight. If you've made adjustments, make sure nothing is loose. You don't want to be operating the machine in a loose, with any loose hardware. It's just safety first. 1 3/4 inch wrench will do everything. As you saw, we were using an impact, but that was just to speed things up. If you have an impact, that's great. If not, any 3/4 inch wrench, any 3/4 inch socket will make all the adjustments you need to on this machine. One thing we get some questions for, if you want to relax the machine to maybe change a spring or store it, something like that. I know it's going to look a little scary the first time you do it. I'll do it a few times and I explain what I'm doing. I'm actually pulling this firing rod, but I'm securely gripping this arm at the same time. So I am not allowing the machine to fire at any point, and the spring is now completely collapsed. We'll do this a few times so you can see how I'm actually doing this. I'm bringing it into the cock position. I'm going to firmly grip with my left hand, the arm, slowly pull the firing rod till you start feeling it come off of there, then use both hands to simply hold that arm back. This happens to be a blue spring. On this machine, it would be the medium tension. If you have a red spring installed, it's definitely going to be a little more tension. It might lift you off the seat a little bit when you do it. I'll do it a couple more times just so you can see what I'm doing. Cocking the machine, I'm holding the arm, pulling the firing rod, and simply relaxing the tension. So at this point, it would be if you wanted to change a mainspring or cover it, store it, and you don't want to leave it stored for a long period of time with all the tension on the machine. If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to give us a call, and hopefully this video answers some questions for you.